is up, guys? It's me, Brian with HappyThumbsGaming, and I'm back with some more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is planet Mustafar, and we are taking on the mining complex free roam. We're going to find a data card, a couple of ships, a couple of characters, and 23 Kyber bricks. Now, we're going to pick up right where we left off, which was in space. And if you might remember, we actually had a concept that we were going to take on a stud comet and get a bunch of studs, and we were a little deprived of that in our last video. But as soon as we respawn into the same area, booyaka show, it's down, and we're going to go ahead and take it on real quick, because why wouldn't you go collect a bunch of studs? A quick reminder, we do have quick links down below in the video description. Big shout out to Thumbby for the reminder there. And we do want to talk about a little bit of a, I don't know, there seems to be a display glitch perhaps, or even potentially two ways to unlock a ship that's related to this next area we're going to take on. And as you can see, that meter getting depleted and us getting paid. And I mean, at the risk of sounding like a whiner, we're pretty broke right now as we just spent a ton of studs on upgrading our data cards. Now you can see we got all 5 of the Kyber bricks here in space. But before we move on to Mustafar, which is our next location, we're going to go ahead and take a quick drop into the Jundland wastes of Tatooine. Now, the reason for this is there is a password related to the next area, and rather than, like, get to the area and then have to load back to Jundland and then return back, we just figured we'd go get it now. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. You might notice a little bit of an edit here in a second because I had not been here, thus leaving the map uncovered and pretty, well, restricted. So we wanted to make sure you guys could see where this password is and have a nice clean run at it. So there was an edit right there. I actually went and trudged my way all the way over and found it, which is sort of straight ahead as far as what we're looking, but it's down and in the left corner as far as the map looks. So we're going to go ahead and target this. Now keep in mind, if you have not been to the Jundland wastes, that is not going to show up for you because you haven't been there. But for us, like I said, we ran all the way over there, found the key and got it to pop up on our map, and then ran all the way back to our ship, and then, of course, did the take with the map to show you where it was. So now there's a little bit of a, well, hot potato, if you will, up here. There is a Kyber brick inside this little room that we have to sneak into, and so we bounce around with characters. Instead of just using the protocol droid and splitting him in half, we actually use a BB-8 to get inside there. But first, we have to use the mind tricks of our force to go ahead and move this big bantha? I'm pretty sure that's a bantha. Now get out of the way, everybody. Clear the room. Bantha's coming through. Next up, as I already mentioned, we are going to need a protocol droid in the back to get that password, but we're actually going to switch over to BB-8 real quick and slip on through. Reason is because when you split a protocol droid, you have to reattach a protocol droid. And in our case, it's a little bit sketchy on where those two halves may be standing, and it may actually conflict with that Kyber brick, which is related to Jundland wastes, not to Mustafar mining complex, which is what this video and what this password is actually for. So we sneak on by, we use the old tippy toe of C-3PO, and it worked really nice. We're going to go ahead and toggle to our other character to avoid any accidental swoopings, and of course, as soon as we get outside, we're going to pull up our galaxy map and move on over to the mining complex of Mustafar. Now, you might have noticed that there was a little note there, and we've got a flashback here. It was kind of a weird edit. I apologize for that, but essentially, this is a task we did on our previous go from the... oh God, you're going to make me say it again. H2? Octu? And the reason why I'm showing you this, Wheelbarrow Woes, it was actually the last quest we did for the Temple Island video. Now watch this. As soon as we give him the obsidian that we found on the mining complex of Mustafar, on the right-hand side, look, new ship unlocked. And I did the research for you guys. Now, we actually got the Praetorian Guard right here. However, it's still telling us new ship unlocked. And when I go and track down which ship it was, it's in fact the Vulture droid from this area. And we actually have a mission that we haven't done yet to unlock it. So either A, there are 2 missions that could potentially unlock the Separatist droid Vulture ship, or maybe it's a display glitch of some sorts, because we do actually get a mission unlocked for that ship later. So anyways, it's sort of confusing, but I just wanted to point that out because there was a 1 of 2 on the ships, and we've never been here to collect anything other than those obsidian pieces for that one mission that wasn't even relevant to this area. So All right, whew, that's a lot of explaining. Hopefully it made sense. We're going to go ahead and switch to our protocol droid and run all the way into a couple of buildings here. Reason is I didn't want to accidentally tag the wrong Kyber brick, and I'm going for a specific one. We're actually going to utilize that password we've just obtained right now and get it out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and keep on with the keeping on all the way through a couple of little conference rooms there, and we officially make it to the password terminal here, and I could go ahead and confidently mark this thing now. And being that we had been here before, the map is a little bit uncovered thanks to that mission we did for Temple Island. And again, that was an off-planet task, not an off-planet requirement, which is still kind of confusing to me. And I'm the one that made that up. So anyway, scroll down to the mining complex number 2, which we just picked up in the Jundland Wastes. And if you haven't, make sure you go back a little bit and grab that password, as it's going to be pretty important to 100% this area. But password Protocore complete. All right, next up, we're going to actually tag the data card, as it's really close to us, and why not? We're going to go ahead and swoop it up, and then we're going to drool over the fact that we need, I think it's like a lot. It's like 48 million or something like that. I could be wrong on that. I haven't really studied my stud requirements for the data cards yet. I know that the first one was 1 million. Second one was 4 million, I think. It was a lot. 2 million. It was a lot, whatever it was. We spent it, and we're getting up there again. Well, we got that 48 times multiplier. That's certainly helping us get there quicker. I do a little bit of grindage at the end of this level as well, but nothing too significant, just about 100,000, 500,000, something like that. All right, this is a funny angle here. You're going to want a grapple character. We went ahead and used a bounty hunter because they have that jetpack that'll help you glide out there and get a little closer to that grapple point. You feel free to use whichever grappling character you like, and we're going to go ahead and tag the next Kyber brick and be out of here. All right, this one is upsy downsies. We actually have to go down and around and then back. I believe it's back up on top. That's right. And all right, so it's again a funny angle. You'd think you'd be able to just walk over to the other side, but apparently there are 2 upstairs. There's a left and a right. Now this one's pretty simple. This one's called Hotshot. In fact, there are 4 targets scattered throughout this area, and you just need to go ahead and lock them in and shoot them. Now, we're going to show you where all 4 of them are real quick before we do our blasting. There's one right there, one up top, way up on that tower, and there's one right in the middle of the rocks and one over on the left side of the rock. So, again, I'm going to use a bounty hunter. They have that OP blaster, which gives you 3 shots each time you pull the trigger. It's better odds of hitting your target, even though I botched that last go there. But hey, we got all 4 of them, and open the door. We'll go ahead and collect that Kyber brick and be ready for more. All right. Not to time date this video, but yesterday was Father's Day. I want to wish happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there and everyone else who's portraying or acting in that role, because I know there's a lot of people that do a lot of things these days. But much love to all the peeps. All right, this one's tricky too. It wants you to go down and around, but the fact is it's actually up top, and we need to drop it like it's hot, which is actually the name of a brick coming up. Not this one, but it's actually for reals. There is a brick called Drop It Like It's Hot. You know, sometimes there are things that I steal from pop culture, and I don't realize they're as popular as they are. And then they add them in a Lego game, and then for like a half a second I think, boy, did they add that because I say that all the time? Probably not. Probably not, but possible. But possible. All right, this Kyber brick was a little tricky too. There's 2 of them over in the corner, and I actually targeted the right one. We're going to go ahead and switch to a scavenger character, pull out our glider, and do just that. Glide across the gap. Drop on down and grab that Refinery Rooftop Kyber brick, and be careful on your way down, as you could plummet to your doom. Basically, there's some toxic gas below, and we got to make sure that we do not drop into there. And it's weird. It's sort of got like a tractor beam that's going to slurp you up if you get too close to it or maybe fall inside. You can't really get out of it once you're in it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, all right, we're going to drop down. I'm going to show you a nice little trick here. There are a ton of these Jedi forcible boxes that you can lift up and stack up to get up top. But I found that really difficult in my scouting run. So here's what I'm going to do. It may take a time or two to get 3PO to stand still. Hey, look, come on, bro. Just stand there. Just stand there. Don't move. I said don't move. Be careful not to get inside with a non-toxic capable character. But look at this. Eventually he stands still, and we're going to use the Force. And rather than build a large tower to get him up there, we're just going to go ahead and yeet him up. Now, I got really lucky. He fell off because I moved too fast, but he fell right onto the ledge, which was perfect. We're going to go ahead and swoop up that toxic trouble Kyber brick, and we are out of there. And yeah, so there's another situation later that requires us to stack a bunch of bricks, and we use that method then too. Something to, worthy of trying in the future. It might not work on all scenarios, but high probability that it will. All right, this next one is inside the building, but the door appears to be locked. So how on earth are we going to get in there? Don't worry, we got you covered. We got you covered. This clone trooper here, or I guess it's more of a, whatchamacallit, a Roger. The droid, he is wanting us to fix the door for him, and we're gonna ignore him altogether because I can't even remember his name, so we're just gonna move along. Fun fact for you, it's really early in the morning. I've only been up for a few minutes, so brain is not fully working. That's my excuse for not being able to remember that. Yeah, so all right, inside we've got the old, I think it's called the break room boogie. Yeah, I was gonna call it the boardroom boogie, but inside here there is a Kyber brick hiding behind the old, looks like the stage, like it's like no, I'm just kidding. That's not the Muppets. Please don't demonetize me for singing so well. Really, what we need to do is use a silver brick breaker, a villain character of sorts, to go ahead and turf a thermal detonator, aka a grenade. And inside that box that we destroy is going to be a nice little passcode. It's actually some sort of a swiper. Swiper, no swiping. No, we're going to go ahead and swipe it and get out of here. That's right. Break Room Boogie is officially complete. All right, so we're getting pretty well done here, but as you might notice, as we complete a couple of tasks, other ones are popping up. Now, I'm not 1,000% sure if that is due to the fact that they just unlocked because we got it complete, or maybe it's because we trudged around and walked close enough to the collectible that it popped up. But in this case, I noticed that we didn't have this brick when we targeted that last one inside the break room. So it certainly seems like some are popping up after others are done, which is super confusing, and I wish they wouldn't have done that in this game, which is part of the reason why it's taken us so long to get these free roam videos out too, because we were trying to get a perfect unlock order so that we're not having to bounce around from planet to planet to planet to planet to planet to planet to planet, which we have to do a little bit, but I mean, there's a lot of expectation here. And speaking of expectation, I talked right over this. Basically, you need to destroy all 4 of those tables. Each one of them provides a little bit of a Kyber brick that you can build up once it's all completed. So smash, build, collect. Pretty easy. All right, next up, it's actually hiding. Ooh, it's got red on it. It's hiding behind a red laser wall, which is going to be really tough to get through. Now, I know I mentioned that there are some possibilities of cheesing these lift scenarios. However, in this case, you actually need to build it. And this one's kind of tough. I recommend starting a little bit out directly in front of the terminal, sort of like I'm doing now. In a perfect world, it would be flush and sort of at a, perpendicular scenario so that it's not actually at an angle. Right now, it's sort of at an angle as opposed to being able to butt it right up to the wall. But essentially, what we're trying to do is build it up high enough and aligned enough that we can actually stand a hero character on top and access that terminal. Now, you should have all but one boxes needed. One should be outside, so you're going to have to open the door and grab this. Now, this one's a little bit tricky. I was trying to stack it up off to the side, and it wasn't necessarily aligning up and snapping into place for me, but I was actually pretty creative, and it turns out you don't need to snap these into place. As long as gravity holds it in place, you should be good to go. Now, this is a wonkadoo, and I wasn't sure I was going to get to it, but as it turns out, I got really lucky, you guys. Well, lucky in the sense that I'm close enough. Not lucky that the fact that the game gave me it didn't give me the right character. Like, what is it doing? Why did it give me two 3POs? 3 3POs? No, 2. I can count, I promise. I told you it was early. All right, we'll go ahead and choose any hero character. In our case, we chose Bale. And it's so close, but we were able to get up next to the terminal and make it happen. So this one is likely going to take a while to go ahead and get that perfect stack. But once you do, you're going to go ahead and grab that Stack-cess Kyber brick behind that red laser wall, which is no longer there. Thank you very much. All right, time to keep on with the old keeping on here. Next up, we've got ourselves, what do we got? What do we got? Come on, pull up the map, Brian. Go, go, go. We got a Kyber brick. It's up top. We're going to go ahead and do some climbing. In fact, we're going to go out and around. I thought we were going to go up right there. My bad. This one is actually off to the side and pretty easy to get. We're going to go ahead and walk out here. You could leap and maybe glide, but in our case, we found it safer to just to walk. All right, you're going to use the Fools, and there are, I believe, 4 of these. We're going to call them battery packs. They're basically just continuations of the power on the floor here, and we need to manipulate them and put them into the place. As soon as you pick one up, it should give you an idea of where it could go, and then you're going to go ahead and slap it into place. Now, this is likely the hardest one to find, is that you got to destroy all of the items in the corner, which is going to give you some buildable bricks, and you're going to be able to put it in place. Now, I know I just said that was likely the hardest one to find, as I pull the old, which way do I go? Which way do I go? But it turns out it's actually right behind me up on the pillar, and I do fall to the ground, and I do believe I look up and see it here. Yeah, any second now, Brian. Any second. And again, I still stick by my statement. I do feel like the ones that you destroy the parts in the corner are the ones that it's likely going to be the hardest one, just because it's not as easy to find. Now, normally, too, these pluggable items are spotted on the map. I did not notice them being available or there, so that's kind of tricky. I don't know. I also discovered, too, I've been saying for a while now, as we use an astromech to complete this puzzle, that there are a lot of missions that you can complete, and if you don't physically walk through the Kyber brick, it will often award it to you, thus not allowing you to miss a Kyber brick that you've completed a task on. This level was very different, you guys. You know, in previous levels, had I not immediately jumped up there and collected that, it would have collected it for me. I don't know if different teams did different planets, different areas, if there were different requirements for different planets, but I do feel like this planet is going to let us down and allow us to potentially miss some. So make sure you're collecting anything that you unlock. Just important fun fact for you. All right, this next one's kind of tricky. I believe, yep, this one is called Sunbody Stop Me. I definitely feel like there is a mask reference here. This one actually requires us to build up a puzzle on the wall, and we have to find a couple of pieces to put into place. But first, we actually have to take out some baddies, so I'm going to go ahead and give them the old cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Not a lot of fighting being done in the last couple of videos. I know we have an escort mission or two here and there, but I mean, ultimately, you know, most of the battling was done in our story/free play. And we'll be back, though. We'll definitely get some more fighting as we go along. We got a lot of protection missions and such. So, all right, there you can see we got 3 pieces missing from that large sun painting, we'll call it. And we got to look around. Turns out there's one right here on the table. We'll use the force to slap it up. The table goes on the left just to help speed things up for you. Next up, we've got one that's actually in the back right corner. We're going to need the help of a bounty hunter to melt some gold. Now, did you notice too, guys? I actually marked the wrong brick on my map. If you notice, there's actually a Kyber brick being pointed out outside right now, and I'm just now realizing that. So that's 2 videos in a row that I've tagged the wrong brick by accident. It's really close, and it shouldn't affect you much because I've labeled with the appropriate name of the brick. It's just on the map, trying to get to it was a little bit of a mistakey poo, so I'm sorry. All right, but the last one, all right, I actually run around for way longer than I should, so I even made an edit there. As it turns out, you need to use an astromech in the corner over here, and he will puke out the final piece from this painting on the wall. Watch, ready? Wait for it. Officially done did, and there it is. All right, so it should be sitting on the floor waiting for us to pick up. That's right, use the force. No, wrong item, there we go, use the force. All right, we'll go ahead and slap it into place. This is pretty easy. Should go right in the middle and complete. And look at that. We've got ourselves Sunbody Stop Me. And, of course, there's a bunch of stuff to smash in there, too, and I highly recommend you doing just that. Look at that. We're already over 5 million studs. Now, once we get that next data card upgrade, and we're going to be really cruising. Studs will no longer even be a thought. Right now, we're still thinking about it a little bit, but not much. All right, next one is going to be the Long Way Ledge. This is the one that I do believe I tagged first. I apologize for that flub up there, but good news for you. I got both of them, and they were appropriately labeled on screen. So, again, although it might have been a little misdirection, if you're following along with the map movements, really what we did was correct. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that. All right, next up, we've got this crazy lava drain puzzle. This one's called Drop It Like It's Hot. So we need to actually remove the lava from these 3 tubes. First one's pretty easy. We need to go ahead and get our grapple on, which is going to reveal a little power terminal. And once we do that, we actually can push this thing around. And it's actually going to activate the power, I think is what it does by grappling. Now we should be able to push this switch around, and it'll line up the pipe. And look at that. It's going to go ahead and slurp up the first of 3 towers here. Notice it's the... Oh, I guess it is the right tower. I was going to say, notice the middle tower, but it's not. I was wrong. All right, so basically what we need to do is fill up that whole pot right there, and it'll push that Kyber brick to the top. So next up, we need power on the left. Wait a minute, Brian. You're going to need to use the force and pull that fuse, eh? That's right. Get that fuse, eh? We'll put it into place. And once we do, we'll push the left side switch over as well. And it should drop the lava and give us 2/3 of our project here. And then the last one's actually going to need a grappling character. And it just so happens we got one out already. A little bit of a funny angle there on the jump, my bad. Ooh, and I would like to point out, too, that the button on the PlayStation for grabbing is circle. Now, the button for using the push force is also tapping circle. I found it really annoying in my PS4 Go because it kept actually, instead of attaching to that push switch and pushing it around, it kept using the force and knocking the fuse out of the power socket. I know, really unlikely scenario, but hopefully it doesn't happen to you. It was really frustrating. I mean, I guess you got to have buttons to do stuff, right? But it's just weird how they're sort of always conflicting with each other. All right, grapple up top. The double jump might be a little bit wonkadoo, but I got faith. I got faith in you. We'll go ahead and solve the puzzle from the inside out. I'm glad that there's not a bunch. Did you notice that after an update, they changed a few of those, and some of them were like 3 and 4 layers instead of just the 2? Man, I'm not missing those. I don't know if they re-updated those out or how that happened, but it seemed like there was a few of them right after that first update. And then after the second update, it seemed like they were gone. But hey, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Again, I steal pop culture, and then there's those moments where I feel like the statements I'm using are being brought forward in Lego form, maybe homage to me, but no, it's probably more of an homage to Snoop Dogg. Really, the reason why I've said that so much in the last couple of, well, not last couple of videos, but this series for Lego Star, is they've got that stupid Carl's Jr. commercial on TV where you can go and like, I don't remember even what the ad is. It's a funny ad, but they drop it like, I think they're dropping into the dip or something. I don't remember. You guys probably know better than I. All right, hey, welcome to Mustafar. This one is a little bit of a death-defying jump. I recommend using a character with a glider or a jetpack. And you saw there, we used Django, and he worked just perfect. And we did drop it like it's hot, sort of. All right, next up, we're actually going to take on ship number 1. This is for the IG-2000. It requires us to talk to Buddy over here. He's going to let us know that we actually need to press a button on the wall and then complete a sequence. It's just kind of like a game of memory, if you will. And I'm going to recommend that instead of using like numbers or whatever, you stick with colors in order to identify these. You know, some people do better with numbers and such. For me, I do better with green, pink, white. Boom. Green, pink, white. See how easy that was? I don't know why. I just really thrive with the color patterns versus numbers. Like, because you could mess it up. You could put A, B, C. You could put 1, 2, 3. A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, sorry. I got a little caught up there. All right, but next up, we're going to go ahead and follow the pattern. I believe it was yellow, blue, pink, white. Yep, yellow, blue, pink, white. Now, I guess that could be gold, orange, or whatever you want to call it too, but who's being picky? Not me, certainly. All right, so we're going to follow along. Looks like it was green, blue, yellow, pink, white. We got this. We got this. All right, green, blue, yellow, pink, white. Ooh, I almost went for the pink. Giggity. My bad. All right, moving along. We'll go ahead and watch this guy come in, and look at that. It's the IG-2000. He's going to go ahead and swoop it on out on the drive-by. That's right. And look at that. We'll go ahead and collect it. Woot. All right, so we've got, ooh, I'm not even going to say that. Fralideja. I probably slaughtered that too, but all right, he's just going to give us more info. Oh, and guess what? This was funny. I kept trying to hit circle to get out of this, right? Because circles usually back out. But circles instigate conversation. So again, that circle button causing me problems. That was user error, though. I will confirm that was 100% user error. All right, we've got a lot of trudging around to do. You can see there's a lot of dark area that we have not been to yet. So let's go ahead and try to figure out where that is. And we're going to use these handhelds to get up top and cross this nice little ramp over to the left. But first, we're actually going to solve this quick little Kyber brick puzzle called Toasty Tower. Look at that. We got close enough, and now it's officially showing its face. And this one, so 2 times now, I've known the solution and been like, wait, where is it? Like, where? It's got to be around here somewhere. Fun fact for you, there's actually a button right below us that we can use that grapple point to get back up. So we're going to go ahead and fall. No plummeting to your doom, hopefully, as it's a little bit of a, well, not really a safe place to land on. But there is a ledge, and we're going to recommend you grapple up and then turn. It's a funny angle up top. It should give you the grapple prompt. Hit it and get up there. Woo to the hoo. Toasty Tower is ours and hopefully yours too. Now, double jumping over that is probably going to be faster and easier, less death-defying. Although if you missed that plank, it's a long ways down. All right, next up, we got a Kyber brick up on the hill over here. You talk to Buddy here, and he says, oh, there's something up there, and it's not obsidian. Yeah, no kidding. It's glowing blue, buddy. Obsidian is not blue. Before we jump across using a scavenger and the glider, I'm going to recommend you pull out the net launcher and place 2 of these nets into place. The reason I say 2 is you can only have 2 out at a time. That's kind of a weird rule that they added, but we're going to go ahead and put the first 2 into place. Oh, I almost botched that jump, but thanks to the climb up option, which I don't know that we've seen that in a lot of LEGO games. Definitely handy here, though. I very much appreciate it. It saved my Tookus a handful of times. All right, now climb up. Because we laid that first couple of nets down, we should be able to get it by not just 1, but 2 spots. Sadly, though, we need that 3rd one up there, so we're going to go ahead and have to pull out the net launcher again. So I don't know if it really helps you speed up or not. And this one is a tough one, too. You got to pull way back towards the ledge. Be careful not to fall off, but wait till it gets green, plant it in place, climb up, and, of course, get that Kyber brick. Oven Overlook, officially ours. Thank you very much. All right, we got a little bit of a journey to the next one before we pop up, but we got to walk across that that plank. I'm calling them all planks. I feel like a pirate today. I'm not sure why, but we're gonna walk across that little ledge, and over on top here we've got a buddy with looks like a ship. Yep, it is. But we're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna do a Kyber brick right here in the middle. This guy actually requires us to find another one of those little sliding passcodes. And in order to do that, we're actually going to use the Force and lift up our secondary character again to a high ledge versus having to build up all of these. There are enough boxes scattered around that if you are struggling with this way that I'm about to show you here and you just want to get it done, you could simply stack up the boxes. Now, there's another box over by the ship, over behind us, kind of to the right. And there is another one over, I believe, on the far left corner, too. So this is a little tricky. You got to kind of get it up there and almost plant the box so it doesn't fall. And then I bump Buddy off and then move the box again. So I get really lucky on my second attempt here. And I have just enough room to fall off on the ledge. And then I toggle back to Buddy, and he doesn't get all squirrely and fall off up there. I managed to grab the Force and drop that other box, and look at that. All right. Again, that may not be easier for everyone, right? And you guys may have done it a lot easier than I did, too. So everybody's levels are a little different, and we just want to make sure that you guys have options to do things differently. Topside ticket, officially ours, though. You can see there should be a box over behind us now, and I think there's one straight ahead, too. All right, we got another use for the net launcher. Luckily, we still got our scavenger out here. And we're going to go ahead and paste a couple of nets on the wall here. And once we got those, we should be able to scale the wall all the way to the top and grab this mining and climbing Kyber brick that's waiting for us up there. You know, I got to say, minus the whole planetary jumping around back and forth, this is one of the easiest free roams ever to be done. And I got to be honest, the tracking of the missions and doing like the quote-unquote perfect unlock order, that's really best and only suited for me, the creator. Because ultimately, you guys don't need a perfect... It will kind of waste some time going back and forth. But ultimately, it's not going to hurt you or prevent anything. It's just going to cause a little bit of extra travel. And we're we're just trying to prevent that to make sure that, you know, all the bricks that we collect are from the area we're trying to collect in and things like that. But beyond that, once you collect it, it's yours. So if you're going for 100%, you got to get them all. Get them all. All right, this one's kind of tricky. It's called Searing Secret, and it's like hiding in the lava. And even with the blue glow, it's still kind of hard to see, but luckily for you, we knew right where it was. And it's one of those ones that doesn't really show up right away on the map either. You got to get pretty close, because we ran right by this a couple of times already, and it didn't show up. So I'm assuming that there's some, you know, unlocking, like we did mission B, C, and D, and all of a sudden E showed up, right? Oh, and speaking of E, Flea, a little bit of a rhyming scheme. Inside, we've got this giant, I don't know what it is. They're calling it a flea, so I'm going to rock that. I'm going to assume that it is a flea. I didn't write it because we're saving that for another video when we'll do all of the writings in one go. But there you can see, we're going to use the Force. And I find that he destroys everything in his path, and that's a good stud collector. So you might just kind of cruise around and smash everything down and grab a few studs while you're at it. Look at that. We're going to go ahead and collect Flea. But we notice he's on his way back. What? And he seems to be hot to trot. So we are not. We're out of here. Bye, Flea. All right, no, never mind. I'm going to taunt him a little bit. Saber to the face. Saber to the face. We out. I'm not scared. You're scared. All right, we're officially out of there. And next up, we're going to target a brick over here in the far corner. This one is kind of a pain in the you-know-what. And I say that because, well, I guess I blew myself up while I was saying that. Really, I'm a pain in the you-know. I'd still be alive and a lot richer if I wouldn't have done that. No, there's this this lower area down here that's really the pain that I'm talking about. But over here in the corner, there should be a sort of a memory game here, too. We got to match it. So there's 3 towers here. Each tower has a number. So we've got 4 on the left. I believe it's 2 in the middle and 3 on the right. Now, I'm finally close enough I can tag it. It's called Dealing in Absolutes. We're going to use the Force to go ahead and manipulate the switch on the left by pressing it a handful of times so that it actually shows in the 4th spot, matching the 4. Next up, we've got number 2. And finally, we've got number 3. And I'm going to get a little closer so I don't accidentally hit that middle one, because it's pretty easily done. And booyakashow. Speaking of easily done, open says me. We'll take that Kyber brick. Thank you very much. All right. Next up, I know I just mentioned down below was kind of a pain. We're going to go check that one out real quick. There is a lot of grappling and jumping across lava. It's really scary, actually. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you brought your lava drill, though, because it is going to be hot. And once we get down here, I get a little confused. I was sure that I jump on the first platform over here on the left. And as it turns out, that is not the case. So I switched to another character that can actually get his grapple on. And I'm like, what in the grapple is happening? All right, I figured out here in a hot second. I could have edited this out, but I do like to leave some of these moments just because I want you guys to know that it's not all, you know, peaches and cream or easy peasy. And in this case, I think right now is when I discover that, wait a minute, the brick's not even showing there. What? I was going to tag it, but I can't. But this one is actually called So Close, Yet So Mustafar. And you can see the brick up there floating. And I officially have found our line to get out there. So basically, my advice here is use double jump and definitely jump a little early. Now, I do find that there is some momentous error that happens. And what I mean by that is, like, once we get a little closer to that brick, if you jump next to it, it is highly possible that there's going to be some sort of a wind sort of preventing you from getting up to that platform. And in the end, I think we need to grapple up to the part above it, I guess, a piece above it. And then you can drop down on and then just collect it and be out of there. So I think that's how it works. And maybe it was just a weird phenomenon for me. Maybe there won't be any, like, weird physics for you. But for me, there definitely was. But yeah, simply get your grapple on. Just be patient. Wait for these swinging items to come back and forth. And then we got to run along this rock ledge. I sort of recommend switching to a character with a jetpack, like Jango Fett, perhaps. That's a long jump to make right there. And if you don't make it, you should spawn up top. But it is possible you might land on a lower platform and have to come all the way back up. So I recommend using a jetpack just to get out here. Now, this is where things get squirrely. There's a little bit of what seems to be like funny physics. Like, I'm being pushed to the left. It might have been because my momentum from the platform was going to the left too. but I recommend trying to find the ledge up top right above the Kyber brick to grapple to, and you should be able to drop down by hitting circle or B, depending on what platform you're on, and it should drop you right down onto the platform with the brick. And then look at this, we're going to grapple up top to that last piece we were just on, and it's going to give us a free ride over here. We don't even have to punch our ticket or nothing. Like, it's good to go. All right, so we are officially done with the most annoying brick for this one. At least that's how I feel. I feel like that was the worst Kyber brick for this one. Now we got a couple of, we got a ship coming up next, followed by a couple of characters, which is going to be fun, funsies. And all right, so wait for it. Eventually we tag the ship. Yep. Ship 2, the Separatist Vulture droid. So this is that one that was sort of problematic in the beginning. Now, I say problematic because there is a mission for it here, but if you go, well, basically, here's how I figured this out. So I completed it in my story go, right? But it didn't give me a ship. So I had to go and like do a bunch of research, hit the internet, look around, see what I had, look at old videos, try to figure out why I didn't get a ship. And then I realized, wait a minute, I actually knew that I came to Mustafar in the previous video, right? We had to come here for some obsidian. And so I went back to that video to see when I traveled here, was it 1 of 2 or 0 of 2? And it was 0 of 2. And so then I followed it along, and after completing that mission that I showed you at the very beginning, that flashback moment, we unlock a ship, and it just so happens that we have the Separatist Vulture droid unlocked after that point. So it's got to be it. Now, why there are 2 possible unlock paths for the same ship, I don't know. I don't know if this was intentional or maybe a mistake. But either way, we're going to go ahead and follow our path all the way up to him, and we're going to talk to Buddy here. And this one's called Quota Quandary. There's a lot of back and forth here. Not really a lot, but there's a little bit of back and forth. In fact, the next couple of missions are lots of back and forth. I really like the Kyber brick quests versus these ship and character ones because there's just so much. There's like steps on steps on steps in a lot of cases. But in this one, we have to go around and find a bunch of obsidian. Well, that's absurd. We've already done that. Like, I feel like we literally have done this mission already, which brings me to my next point, that it is odd that the ship requirement for unlocking for both missions was, in fact, finding obsidian. That's a little weird. Don't you guys agree? Like, I don't know why. Again, I'm not sure if they were like, all right, we're going to put this mission here, and then at the last minute, they're like, hey, we've actually decided we're going to move this mission over here, and maybe it just didn't happen properly. I don't know. Maybe they intended for there to be 2 unlocked. Maybe every ship has 2 unlocked paths, and we just haven't figured that out yet. I don't think that's the case. Honestly, I don't, but it could be. It could be. Now, you might have noticed as I stroll around here, I am sort of shooting and smashing a bunch of things and trying to collect as many studs as possible. And as a result, we are over 8 million now. I do believe we were at like 1 and some change when we entered this area. And now we're at, well over 8 million. That's pretty awesome. So we're getting up there. Not even close to where we need to be as far as overall studdage, but like I said, once we get that next data card purchased, we should lose track of any tracking. That's kind of a funny way to say that, but I'm kind of a funny guy sometimes. Not intentional. I just want to state that too. Like sometimes I'm funny and I don't mean to be, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, right? So, all right, good thing for us, this is going to literally walk us around. Remember in like the old Lego Batman 3 days when there was like tasks scattered throughout, like you had to find, I don't remember what it was, there was like 3 little bugs. I think they were beetles. No, 5 beetles you had to find scattered throughout. And they were not on the map at all. You had to like run around and find them. That was like not the fun days. Like I really feel like this free roam is going down as the longest, but also the easiest in LEGO history. And, you know, we really toyed with the notion of not even doing videos for this because of how easy it was. But we did that with LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1, and I gotta be honest, I get at least 1 comment a week going, hey, are you ever gonna go back and finish that? You never finished it. In our eyes, we did, but in a lot of people's eyes, we did not. So, all right, speaking of finishing, this should be the last. Oh, no, wait, we have 1 more piece up above. I forgot. We got to keep on with keeping on. I thought about trying to do the death-defying route to the right there, but we'll just go ahead and keep it safe and use the little ladder, go up top, and then walk across. That seems like the safer bet. I mean, I'm not always the safe dude, but in this case, I've died enough and wasted enough time. This is actually a really long video. I'm looking forward to some of those shorter areas that have, you know, like teens of collectibles instead of like 20s or 30s, because a lot of these are stacking up pretty high, if I'm being honest. A lot of these levels so far, I've had 30, 40 collectibles. That's crazy. I think we have, what, 23 Kyber breaks here, and then we got a couple ships, a couple characters, and data cards, so another 5. So, yeah, I mean, we're up there. We're up there. Definitely not minimal. And again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I do feel like the devs sort of overdid themselves with the amount of collectibles on each one. The repetitiveness and whatnot, it does start to wear thin. And I think that we're only a few levels in. I think this is our 8th area, including space areas, so space and planet landings. And I mean, we got like 50 more. 50 more. That's crazy to think. A lot of those are space, and they'll be quick and easy, but a lot of those are not space. So, all right, we've gone ahead and kicked down with the obsidian. He's going to say, what? I need some help. Will you escort me over here, please? And we're going to do that. Psych, it's over. We're done. I'm just kidding. He bails out. We do help him again here in a minute, though. He is the final character we unlock. He's the Mustafarian. It's like a Rastafarian, but a Mustafarian. Pretty funny. Like the wordplay. All right. So next up, we got a character that is officially showing himself now. This is ultimately because we just completed that last mission. So I know a lot of you guys bounce around with the quick links and try to do it on your own pace and not follow along with us. But ultimately, there's a lot of cases that following along with us is going to benefit you greatly because we do the things in the proper order. Or like if you jump to this last one, like you're going to be like, why is this mission not showing for me? I haven't done the last one, but it's not showing. You know, so order is sometimes important. And in this case, look at that. We've got Rune, Haako. Is that there's a trophy hunter. His name's Haako. I wonder if that was a reference or if this is a real character that exists. I'm not familiar with Rune, so sorry to ruin any idea you have of me being a Star Wars fan. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, boo! All right, we got to head to Coruscant. If you hadn't figured that out yet, it does tell us we got to go to Coruscant space. And check it out. We get attacked. It's one of those rules of 3. We've got 3 waves of taking down baddies. And the first one is going to be 6. And I think the second one is 10. And the third one, I believe, is 12. Now, one tip for these. If you've noticed, as soon as it starts, there are 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 bad guys right in your line of fire. And if you're just pew-pewing as soon as you get to a chance to, you will likely take out 2 or 3 of them right away. Now watch, here we go. And again, I have edited out some of the loading times or the travel times, so it might seem a little faster on my end because it is. But you can see I took out, what, 4 dudes right away? 4 ships, I should say. I shouldn't associate any of that. But yeah, so I highly recommend just holding down the pew-pew button all the way through this. Because as soon as you start, you'll have an opportunity to take out a few. And I also recommend that once you take out the first couple, there's going to be one that's flying left to right or right to left. If you follow that guy, you will likely track him and take him down, and he will likely lead you right to the next guy. So let's see if it happens again here. Let's see if my theory proves true as I bust out another shave and a haircut, 2 pews. So look at that. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so I got a little scattered here. I didn't take the ones out as intended. And I actually depleted half a meter from that one guy and then the other guy too. So I like, make up your mind, Brian. Take out a bad guy already. But no, I softened him up a little bit. It's not something I'm known for, but it does happen from time to time. All right, so we've got 10 done. We got 2 more. We'll go ahead and take them down. You know, is it the rule? I said the rule of 3. I'm wondering, is there a 4th section? I hope not. I don't want to be wrong. I don't like being wrong. Kirsten and all them love it when I'm wrong. It's like their favorite holiday. Mark it down, Brian's wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, Republic Pirate. Here's supplies from Mustafar. Yes, we are. Why? What do you know? All right, so this one is a little bit of a head scratcher. There should be an exclamation mark on my map right now, and it is. It's on the bottom right corner. You can see it. It's kind of pointing towards Thumby right now in the bottom right corner. See it? I was not seeing it, and I went into panic mode, you guys. I saw some targets ahead of me, and I end up engaging in a spice battle. That's right. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm like, nope, just kidding. I'm really not interested. But as I swoop around, I don't see the exclamation mark. And you know why? I think it's because I've activated this space battle. So until I either finish it or somehow escape it, I don't think it will show me the exclamation mark. So my bad on that. The good news for me, though, is, as I almost take out the Kyber comment in the background, that would have been terrible because I would have legit had to replay this entire level because I'm a perfectionist and I would have had to not get that Kyber brick out of order or in the wrong time or the wrong place. So anyways, I finished the space battle and I will go ahead and I honestly sort of panicked and thought it had something to do with the ship I was using. So I even went ahead and switched to the X-Wing, which is by far my favorite fighting vehicle for sure. And I recommend it for you guys as well. The Falcon did me well, but I feel like I do much better with this guy. And we're going to go ahead and follow over to the exclamation mark, and eventually we get close enough to take out some bad guys. I do feel like the Rebel pilot that we're flying with takes out a guy or two, because like it seemed like we had 3 or 4 down before we even got here. But maybe I'm just bad at reading. That's possible. It took me forever to find the exclamation mark, so it's very possible that I missed that too. But, oh, it's the Republic pilot, anyway, same thing. All right, Mustafar doesn't take payment, but looks like you could go through. Yep, we'll take it. Pay us now. Thank you. Look at that, new mission unlock. Woohoo! Look at me. I'm all excited. Yes. I'm excited. Yes. We'll go ahead and fly back to Mustafar Mining Complex. Looks like we need a couple of Kyber bricks and 1 more character token. It turns out the next character actually unlocks a Kyber brick as well. And luckily I did this at the end because I sort of missed that in my tracking. So I labeled the right name, the character 2, gave it the right icon, all of that. But what I forgot to do was label the Kyber brick counting to. So I got to the end, I was like, oh no, I'm off a Kyber brick. What? But it turns out there's only 1 more Kyber brick after this to collect. So for like I said, lucky for me, it was one of the last missions we did, as it resulted in an easy fix for my bad labelings. So far, we've been pretty lucky with all that. I've only tagged 2 Kyber bricks incorrectly on the map when going to it. One was in this video, and one I believe was in the last video. And on top of that, so far we've made it through without having to collect any bricks or do any tasks that were not related to the area we were taking on. So yes, we did have to stop at the Jundland Wastes and pick up a pass card or a password for this particular level, but we didn't collect anything that was relevant to the Jundland Wastes or mess anything up there, because that terminal isn't going to affect anything on Jundland Wastes. It was for here, so pretty cool. All right, there you go. Step up. You can see we've got the Mustafarian character token as well as the Kyber brick. Now, you might be wondering, why did you toggle away? You were standing right there. Well, as it turns out, you need to be a scoundrel character in order to accept this mission. Now, I sort of forgot to mention that in the last one, too, but you guys will figure that out. It tells you, I can't accept anything from anybody other than a scoundrel. So you switch to a scoundrel. In our case, we had Chewie out, so he took it, and we are good to go. All right, now this one is a protection one, and this is one of those ones where you can't get too far ahead of Buddy, or he'll literally just hunker down and, not go anywhere. So the sad part is that most of you have probably taken my suggestion, or maybe you just did it on your own, and upgraded the Speedy Sprint Core upgrade, which makes your character run faster. Oh, look at that, 10 million? We got over 10 million? What? All right, once we get to this first doorway here where we've fixed it and collected a Kyber brick earlier, we're going to get attacked by a bunch of Rogers. That's right, we got to take these guys out, and not to dinner or nothing. I'm saying, like, remove them, eradicate the baddies, get them out of here. Bye-bye. And I think there's, like, 10, I think you got to take out. Once you get them all done, you're going to have to return back to Buddy, and once he feels safe, he will proceed with the stuffs here. Now, I did find too that if you do too much shooting or punching close to him, he will kind of cower down and stop as well, which is not recommended because this already takes long enough, you know what I mean? So he will get too far ahead of you and stop as well, so keep that in mind too. But ultimately, if you stay kind of in that perfect zone, he will just keep on with the keeping on, which is what we're trying to do here. And all right, in the door we go. Inside the old conference room here, we get attacked again. And this time they come from the left and right, as well as the far end door there. But we're going to go ahead and take them all out. Now, Chewie's gun is not my favorite. It's pretty powerful, but it doesn't shoot as fast as I would like it to. So, feel free to switch to another character. You should be able to, have like a bounty hunter or somebody else out as well. But, all right, he is no longer scared. We've taken out the second group of baddies, and we're going to go ahead and keep on with the keeping on. And, of course, we're going to, got to get them all. We're almost to 11 million, you guys. I feel like I can't remember. I feel like we started with just over 1 million, just under 2 million, really. And we're going to finish with, what, over 10, maybe 11 million studs? That's pretty awesome. I know we got some stud comments and other things coming up, too. So that's one thing that I didn't do the math on, and maybe you guys can answer this. With the multiplier on, does the stud comment yield more studs, or does it just give you whatever the value of the comment was? That's a fun fact. I would like to know. If you guys have the answer, drop the comment down below, and, that'd be awesome. I'm sure the internet has some answers for me as well, but I'm busy right now, so I'm not trying to do some Googling. Some Jugling? Googling? GIF, GIF, Google, Jugle. I don't know. I say that all the time to my son, and he hates it. He's like, what are you talking about? It's Google. I think it really bothers him that I intentionally say things wrong. My Brianisms, if you will. All right, we've made it back to the platform, but he's not done. He needs more help. What? All right, so we're going to have to go escort him around, it seems. And not my favorite thing to do, but we should be good to go. Go ahead and hop in your ship. And I do believe we need to go to, well, it's going to tell us right now. We need to go to Tatooine, all right? And it looks like Tatooine space. So back to the Tatooines. Now these guys, these Vulture droids, these guys are a little bit tougher. In fact, I think I find myself almost dying at one point. I know, it's pretty crazy. I think like last video I was talking about these space battles and these situations being super easy. And then they threw the Vulture droids at us, which are actually way more aggressive, faster, and seemingly harder to kill. Maybe it's just me. Shave and a haircut, Vulture's down. I don't know why I'm so excited to bounce around like that. It's just kind of a funny new motion that I found. All right, again, I definitely recommend shooting right away, but these Vulture droids, like I said, they take some more pew-pews, and they're really aggressive, too. They're, like, all over me, and I'm not loving it, if I'm being honest. It's not a McDonald's commercial. I'm not loving it. And eventually deplete her some meters. But look at this. I mean, I think, honestly, this is one of those times where the proton torpedoes are going to come in handier because the lock doesn't take as long as it does to deplete their meters. Now, most of the bad guys, you can deplete their meter in 2-3 shots, and actually is quicker than the lock on and then shooting a proton torpedo. So it's kind of the opposite with some of these guys. And if you remember, I even upgraded my ship not too long ago in one of our quick upgrades, part 2. So our pew-pews should be much stronger than the original ones, and I'm still having to put quite a few bullets in each one of these Vultures. These Vultures. We're going to take them down, though. Don't worry about that. After a quick loop-de-loop and a smash to the face. You see that? He hit me with probably a proton torpedo. But as I was doing the loop, I don't think it hurt me. But look, I'm hurting right now. Like, my meter is down there pretty far. Luckily, it keeps doing this talking stuff, so it doesn't fully display it at all times to remind you how bad I am at this. No, I think it's just really aggressive. And I don't think anything happens if you die. I didn't even think about that until now, honestly. But I think if you stick with it and take them all down, regardless of how many lives it takes you, you should be able to complete this. Once you do, we do have to talk to Buddy one more time. In fact, do we have one more go at this after this? I can't remember. I think we just talked to Buddy, and then we have to travel back. All right, one more. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? I pride myself on being a good flyer, like a good pilot. I go all the way back to, like, Starhawk and, like, Hawks and things on the early, like, PS3 days. And I feel like I did a lot of flying then. And even Star Fox back on the 64, lots of flying time in my days. And, but sometimes I feel like I'm really bad, too. All right, we have to speak to the Republic ship outside of Tatooine. I'm looking all over. Which way does he go? Which way does he go? Hey, there's the exclamation point. I'm starting to figure out what to look for when I get there. And look at that. We've got that teal-green balloon with the icon we're after. Oh, look at that. We've got the Mustafarian on board. But wait, now we got to go land on the planet, too? What? This is like the never-ending mission All right, Mos Espa, we got to land there, and we should run right around the corner, and there should be a buddy we talk to, and I think that's it. Anybody else getting that weird long blink as you load in? Like, that's not a feature or something I've done with editing. That is literally how the game loads in on some levels. And I don't know why. It was doing it to me on the mining complex and my scouting run on PS4. And I thought maybe it's just a PS4 thing, but no, it was doing it here. But ironically, it didn't do it on Mustafar for me either. So I don't know. Must be one of those different platform mistakes. But look at that. Mustafar, too dangerous, complete. Mustafarian is officially ours. Thank you very much. But now we've just got one last Kyber brick task way back on the mining complex. So we're going to go ahead and pull up our map. And back to the mining complex. You can see all those numbers are lining up with what we're telling you. So we should be good to go. And officially landing. And again, it's not doing the long blink here, but it was doing it on... I don't know what that's all about. There may be a meaning behind that I haven't caught on to yet. I'm not exactly sure. All right, as I land, I take a quick peek at the map, and I realize there is no Kyber brick showing. So I can see here I've got some far right side stuff that hasn't been revealed yet. And guess what? Spoiler alert, that's where it's at. But because we want to take the easy route, not run around forever, we're going to check out our side missions, puzzles. And I do believe it is a puzzle. In fact, it's called the High Ground. I can remember that because it's a pretty monumental meme and a moment of the movie as well. We'll go ahead and target that from our mission menu. You can see it's up on the high right side. In fact, it is, in fact, the high ground. And once we get a little closer and it pops up on our map, I will show you exactly where it is. Not that you guys are worried about it, but you do cut out through the right break room door. And then we're going to actually go to the break in the wall there and drop down. And look at this. We should be able to see it now. Nope. Psych. It's not showing us. But you guys get the drift. It's over here. We're going to go ahead and keep our scavenger out. I know that seems weird. A grappler or a Jedi or somebody with double jump may be a little bit better suited. I guess a lot of characters have double jump. That's maybe a weird way to say it. But you guys know what I mean. Some of them have better double jump than others, it seems. But we're going to use the glider to get across this huge gap here. And we make it just in time. And all the way to the top we go. And before you know it, we're going to be collecting that final Kyber brick for this area. That's right. Woo to the whoo. All right, climb up. That's right. One last pull. Wouldn't that be the worst? Like your character's out of stamina, couldn't get up there. Looking at it right face to face, but can't get it. Oh, that'd be the worst. All right, guys, that is officially going to wrap things up for the Mustafar Mining Complex. That was a weird inside the head. Did you see that? We could see his little peg on his head. That was interesting. We got them all, though. 100% done did. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I also want to thank Tyler P., our guide writer, for helping me kind of figure out this perfect route and giving me all the collectible information for story and free play and all that stuff as well. Definitely check it out, the trophy achievement guide, that is, over at HappyThumbsGaming.com. Check us out on social media. As for me, guys, that's going to do it for now. As always, until next time. So